So as I mentioned, one of the benefits of the 3D is to take a look at how the team scores itself versus how stakeholders score the team. So as you look at quality results, you see that the team, which is the icon with the multiple people in it, sees itself as producing quality results in the green zone. And stakeholders have a little more conservative view of the team than how, in terms of team results, than the way the team views itself. Likewise, stakeholders see the team as having overall a lower rating than the team sees itself. So again, to me, the measure here is that stakeholders are saying this team is much more siloed than other teams that they have worked with, whereas the team members themselves have a view that the team really is continuously operating in that yellow zone. So an opportunity to explore where those differences might lie between how the team views itself, particularly in terms of rating, versus how stakeholders view the team. When we move on to the next measure, which is also on page 6, it takes a look at the team's mindset scores. And here we have a team that thinks it is very much open to influence by other team members and the ability to be able to influence team members themselves when that would be appropriate. The adaptability score here really looks at not just the it looks at not the flexibility when it comes to pivoting when there's a challenge or problem, but the team's ability to be significantly more proactive. So it measures just how innovative the team might be and whether or not they prioritize that innovative thinking, and whether or not the team is open to challenging the status quo. In this area where we look at page 7 at the team relationship scores, it jumps out immediately where the opportunity might lie with this team. So with this, I would start with focusing on the good news. The good news is that this team has a very high level of trust, which means they do believe a lot of the attributes that go with being a green zone team around having each other's back, about the ability to call on others for support and help when you need it. So a lot of things in this trust space that are foundational to the work a team needs to do. And here I would underscore to the team that this high level of trust provides a great place for this team to start. The team also does a good job when it comes to accountability in terms of holding each other accountable for the work that each team member needs to deliver and for that team member's behavior. However, despite the fact that they are showing as having a high level of accountability, they certainly have a lower score when it comes to engaging in conflict and engaging in productive conflict. So when I see a high level of trust and this level of conflict, I tend to think there may be a skills requirement in terms of giving people the tools and the skills and the permission to engage in conflict in a way that can be highly productive. When I see a team commitment score at this level, what I see is a team that's slipping back into silos. So individual team members may be highly committed to what it is they need to deliver within their area of responsibility, but when it comes to prioritizing team goals over individual or functional goals, this is going to be a bit of a challenge for this team. And they certainly don't do as good a job of collaborating as we might like. So while their adaptability score was reasonably high, they don't put themselves in a place where they're actively seeking input from others, or where they're actively stepping into and engaging in others' work, probably requiring permission to do that. So again, I look at this and think with this high level of trust, there are some easy opportunities for this team to really up its game. And looking at the team operations score, which if you recall was the highest of all of the categories, this team does a good job of setting priorities and creating alignment around those priorities. They do a good job of defining roles and responsibilities and making sure that the tasks that team members engage in is genuinely aligned to, or the tasks are generally and genuinely aligned to the priorities of the team. Their team meetings are generally very productive. So they're well planned, there's good structure, They make good use of time in those meetings. And when they're in those meetings and problems show up and there are problem-solving discussions, this team does a very good job of asking the right questions and answering the questions that help the team solve the problems that are on the table, and making sure that there's space for others, for everyone in the team, to be able to have input in this problem-solving area. The last measure is the impact that the team leader has on the team scores. So again, this is a place where, again, I would start with the good news. The good news is this is a team leader who does a great job of communicating and connecting with their team. They also do a really good job of showing that their commitment to the team and to the team's success is a priority for them. Where they struggle is having clarity around expectations and accountability. So this would suggest to me that there may well be people on the team who feel that the team leader has some favorites, where, you know, in the words of the no good deed goes unpunished adage, that those who are doing a great job may feel that they're being held to a much higher standard than those people who are just skating by, and that there are some people who really are holding the team back, and that the team leader is not doing a good job of either calling them out in terms of their performance or in terms of their behavior. The team leader generally is open to understanding what the team needs, so creating an open and supportive climate, and that goes a long way with the high level of communication. And in terms of impact and influence, this is a team leader who the team generally sees doing a good job with his or her peers in securing needed resources and managing various stakeholder relationships outside of the team, and really has a strong reputational brand. This next page, which is on page 10 of the report, can provide a lot of interesting insight around how the team leader sees the team versus how the team sees itself. So the single icon is the score that the team leader gave the team, and then the icon with multiple heads in it is how the team members see the team. So the team leader has a slightly more critical eye when it comes to the quality of the results that the team is providing compared to how the team sees itself. And the team leader also thinks that team members are definitely have the right mindset when it comes to influencing others and being open to that influence themselves. So that would suggest that, to me, that there may be more communication one-on-one with the team leader than the team leader is actually observing what's happening real time between team members. The relationship scores, for the most part, are very close in terms of how the team leader views the team versus how team members view themselves. It's interesting that team commitment is a place where the team leader sees individuals being more committed to the overarching priorities and goals of the team than team members see themselves. And again, this would suggest to me that the team leader is getting a lot more interaction one-on-one with team members than he is observing team members working together. And then in terms of accountability, the team members think they're holding each other, doing a better job of holding each other accountable than the team leader sees themselves. On team meetings, the team leader thinks that team meetings are running extraordinarily well. Team members think they're good, but the team leader definitely has a view that the team meetings are running extraordinarily well, which again would suggest to me that the team leader's needs are being met in these meetings. So it may be more of a report out, a debrief for the leader, than it is a place where team members get work done. So I'd be encouraging team members to be having conversations in their breakout groups about what they might like to see done differently in their meetings, either by recasting the meetings or restructuring them. And then the team leader scores, you see here that the team leader generally sees themselves in a better light than team members are seeing them. I think the score here that's of most interest to me as a coach is that first line of expectations and accountability, where the team leader thinks he's doing a great job holding team members accountable and being clear on their expectations, and team members simply just don't agree. I make a decision when I see this page whether I'm going to share all of this information with the team leader. I'm sorry, with team members in the team member debrief. In this case, I would share all of the information with the team members at the team debrief. And the only reason to consider not sharing the information on the team leader scores is that the team leader scores are so wildly different than team members. And what you have in that situation is a coaching opportunity for that team leader. I really want the team members to focus on the first 4 elements here of brand, mindset, relationships, and operations, and the stakeholder feedback, because those are things that they have the power to influence. They do not have the power to influence or change the team leader's behavior. That belongs solely to the team leader. So moving a little further along in the report, there are verbatim comments that are provided in 3 areas. One would be the comments that stakeholders make about the team. Then there are comments about the team from the team itself, and then comments about the team leader from the team. In section 12 of the report, you have the opportunity to see just where, from a scoring perspective, the 5 lowest scores are that the team has where the team has rated. So collaboration, expectations, accountability, the overall team rating from stakeholders shows up as an area. Then the notion of team commitment, so subordinating individual and functional goals for the team, and the ability to spend time around adaptability and being more proactive. When the team gets into the debrief themselves and does their own workshopping, they may or may not choose to focus on these 5 lowest scoring areas. They may see other opportunity where they can have some quick hits and some fast wins. The report also provides some recommended actions that the team might consider taking, but I would encourage you as the team coach to make sure that these actions are consistent and supportive of what you think the team best needs as you come out of the debrief with the team leader. So we asked you to take a look at these 5 areas in analyzing the data from this assessment. And hopefully I've given you some other points of interest and ways to think about this report. When we start our next session, we'll be going through each of these 5 questions and asking from the breakout groups, how did you answer those? And then having conversation about what other insights you might have had from the report itself, or answering questions that you might have about the Yellow Zone team report that we looked at. So I'll close with that. I look forward to seeing you all on Thursday, where we'll go through the analysis here on the Yellow Zone team, and then go into breakout on the other 3 team zone types. I'll see you soon.